Hello and welcome to Gingy Paints. My name is Brigi. Let's get this started. Today I'm going to print and paint yet another Blue Spray 3D model. They are a team specialized for animation shows and their characters, may it be Western series or anime. I will continue with their Captain Tsubasa series, picking another favorite of mine, the captain of the Hokkaido team, Hikaru Matsuyama. The body itself took about 4 or 5 hours to print, the base and the logo about 9, then I spent a good amount of time with sanding. I had a lot of difficulties because my rotary tools cable seems to be broken and I couldn't get the device work. I tried to order the same brand again, but it was out of stock. So I either had to search for an adapter or buy a new kit. Since it was not that expensive, I bought a new one and luckily the adapter fits the old one as well, so I will have a spare one for later. I wanted to try a new spray-on primer, which was supposed to be greyish in shade, but when applied, it clearly was black, so I don't know what happened here. I know the setup looks very low-end, the particles were flying all over the place, but the box I usually use for varnishing is really not fit for filming. Maybe filming the process is completely unnecessary. I might skip that in future videos. The equipment and the color codes will be in the description down below as usual. As for the base, there is really nothing new here. I use the same colors and methods like with the past figures. I might not have mentioned before, but I always add a thin, soft felt material underneath all of my printed bases, so later the paint or the varnish does not stick to the surface. It's easier to position than too, softer on glass cabinet shelves, and it's really an inexpensive method to keep everything clean. Before I started painting, I was thinking about which version of the Furano jersey I should paint. Because if I want to follow the previous figures, I should have used the elementary school art colors, which are yellow for the shirt and white for the pants. But the statue itself is from the middle school arc, since that's where Matsuyama and the team received the headbands from their caretaker Yoshiko. This is how Yoshiko also confesses her love to Matsuyama too, and after reading that, he rushed to the airport to catch her and confessed in a way his feelings too. Apparently the two had been in love with each other for some time now, but both of them were too shy to tell, and now Yoshiko was to leave to the US with her parents. They agreed to stay in contact or go long distance, which is such a sweet moment in the series. You really fall for Matsuyama as a female fan. It's funny later how his team teases Matsuyama about this. With Mizuki, he really is among the first ones to get into a relationship, and he even casually mentions to Yayoi and Jun that he envies them that they can be together. But I digress. Since this is such a sweet story arc, I decided to use the middle school colors, which also made me think of another change for the next figure I'm going to paint. I want to paint Tsubasa in the Nankatsu away colors, which are red for the shirt and white for the pants, something that is rarely seen in the series, and when they both finished, they will look great as a pair. The dark primer did not help with the white shirt. I knew it would take a couple of layers to have an even coverage. Maybe I should have used Deck 10 or something underneath to make my job easier. I always hated to paint white and yellow for that matter, so I knew this would be not easy. was nervous about the Furano hiragana as well, just as I was with the kanji on the previous two boys, but it turned out quite decent, I guess. I hated painting the balls. I just can't stay inside the lines. I had a lot of trouble with painting the 3 thin red lines on the socks too. When I saw the render image and the official depictions, I knew this was a lost cause. Even my thinnest brush is cut thinner for extra fine lines, but they turned out to be horrendous. No amount of little corrections with white helped. So, realizing my shortcomings and lack of skills, I gave in. I decided to paint 1 thick red line instead of the 3 ugly thin lines. I know it looks less authentic like this, but I thought it would look aesthetically more pleasing like that than keeping the ugly thin lines. It fits the theme of the rest of the outfit, so it will stay like that. Another nervous breakdown was looming around the corner when I looked at the head. Painting the headband white, not to mess up the skin and the hair completely, was a nightmare. I know I should tape it or use masking fluid, but I just have no patience for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that!
The face was fortunately clear and easy to access, unlike Wakashimatsu's, where the hair and the cap covered a lot of it. I used the remaining brown from Mizugi's hair, added a darker shade to it because Matsuyama's hair does look darker, and used that for the eyebrows and partly for the iris as well. When I was ready with everything and started to assemble the figure, I noticed that I forgot to paint the numbers on the back of the jersey. It wasn't particularly hard, with the exception that I cannot paint a straight line for the life of me, but other than that, the figure was ready. This is the final result. As nervous as I was, overall the statue looks quite decent and very much to my liking. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it under 15 minutes this time. Let me know in the comments what you think about it or about the series, who your favorite characters are and why. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.